The 1974 Canadian 1-cent coin was issued by the Royal Canadian Mint and is part of the long-running small cent series of Canada. This coin features Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse and the famous maple leaf twig design on the reverse. In 1974, Canada was under the reign of Elizabeth II, and her portrait appears on the front of the coin along with the Latin inscription, Elizabeth II D.G. Regina. The phrase D.G. Regina stands for Dei Gratia Regina, meaning by the grace of God, Queen, a traditional royal title used on many Commonwealth coins. The obverse front of the 1974 penny shows the second effigy, portrait, of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin. In this portrait, the Queen is shown wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. Around the edge, you will see the inscription Elizabeth II D.G. Regina and the date 1974 at the bottom. The lettering is clear and bold, and the rim is slightly raised to protect the design from wear. The reverse back of the coin displays two maple leaves attached to a single twig. This iconic design was created by Canadian artist G. Kruger Gray in 1937 and remained in use for many decades. The words 1 cent appear at the top, and Canada is written at the bottom. The maple leaf is a powerful national symbol of Canada, representing unity, nature, and national pride. The simple yet elegant design makes the Canadian penny easily recognizable around the world. In terms of specifications, the 1974 Canadian 1-cent coin is made primarily of bronze. Its composition is approximately 98% copper, 0.5% tin, and 1.5% zinc. The coin weighs about 3.24 grams and has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters. The edge is plain, smooth. The coin was struck in large quantities for circulation, as pennies were widely used in daily transactions at that time. The mintage of the 1974 Canadian penny was very high, with hundreds of millions of coins produced to meet circulation demand. Because of this large production, the coin is generally common today and not considered rare in circulated condition. However, coins in uncirculated or mint state condition, especially those with bright red luster, often graded as red or RD, can have higher value among collectors. In circulated condition, the 1974 1-cent coin usually has modest value, often close to its copper content value or sold in bulk as part of coin lots. In uncirculated condition, especially graded by professional services, it can sell for a few dollars depending on quality. High-grade specimens with minimal marks and strong original mint luster are more desirable. The year 1974 was an interesting period in Canadian history. The country was experiencing economic changes and inflation, which affected the purchasing power of small denominations like the penny. Over time, the 1-cent coin became less practical due to rising production costs. Eventually, Canada decided to stop producing the 1-cent coin in 2012, and it was officially withdrawn from circulation in 2013. However, older pennies like the 1974 issue remain legal tender, though they are mostly kept by collectors today. The 1974 Canadian penny represents a classic era of Canadian coinage. It combines traditional royal imagery with a strong national symbol. For collectors, it is an affordable and historic piece that reflects both Canada's connection to the British monarchy and its own national identity. If you are collecting Canadian coins for your YouTube channel or personal collection, the 1974 1-cent Canada Elizabeth II D.G. Regina is a beautiful example of mid-20th century bronze coinage and a must-have for completing a date set of Canadian pennies. Next top to the 1977 Canadian 1-cent coin is an important and classic issue in the history of Canadian small cents. It was produced by the Royal Canadian Mint and released for circulation across Canada during the reign of Elizabeth II. The obverse of the coin features the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II along with the Latin inscription, Elizabeth II D.G. Regina. The phrase D.G. Regina stands for Dei Gratia Regina, meaning by the grace of God, Queen. This traditional royal title has been used on British and Commonwealth coinage for centuries and reflects Canada's constitutional monarchy system. On the obverse, front, side of the 1977 penny, you will see the second portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin. In this design, the Queen appears mature and dignified, wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. The portrait faces right, and the lettering around the rim reads Elizabeth II D.G. Regina, with the date 1977 placed below the portrait. The design is clean and balanced, with a raised rim that protects the details from wear during circulation. This portrait was used on Canadian coins from 1965 until 1989, making it one of the longest-running effigies in Canadian coin history. The reverse back of the coin shows the iconic maple leaf twig design, originally created in 1937 by artist G. Kruger Gray. Two maple leaves are attached to a single stem, symbolizing Canada's natural beauty and national pride. The words 1 cent appear at the top of the coin, and Canada is written at the bottom. The design is simple but powerful, representing the country's identity and heritage. The maple leaf has long been associated with Canada and is also featured on the national flag. In terms of physical specifications, the 1977 Canadian 1 cent coin is composed mainly of bronze. Its metal composition is approximately 98% copper, 0.5% tin, and 1.5% zinc. The coin weighs about 3.24 grams and has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters. The edge of the coin is plain, smooth. Because it is mostly copper, older pennies like the 1977 issue have a distinctive reddish-brown color when circulated and a bright red luster when uncirculated. The mintage of the 1977 penny was very high, with hundreds of millions of coins struck to meet the needs of daily commerce. During the 1970s, pennies were heavily used in everyday transactions, including small purchases, vending machines, and cash transactions. Due to the large production numbers, the 1977 1 cent coin is generally common and easy to find in circulated condition today. In terms of value, most circulated 1977 Canadian pennies are worth only a small premium over face value, especially since Canada stopped minting pennies in 2012 and officially removed them from circulation in 2013. However, they remain legal tender. The value of a 1977 penny depends on its condition. Coins in worn condition are usually worth only a few cents, while uncirculated examples with full red mint luster, often graded as red or RD, can be worth several dollars to collectors. High-grade coins certified by professional grading services may command higher prices. Historically, the year 1977 was significant for Queen Elizabeth II, as it marked her Silver Jubilee, celebrating 25 years on the throne. Although the regular 1977 Canadian penny retained the standard design, the year itself is historically memorable within the Commonwealth. Collectors often appreciate coins from Jubilee years because they connect to important milestones in royal history. The 1977 Canadian 1 cent coin represents a period when small denomination coins still played an important role in the economy. Rising inflation and increasing metal costs in later decades eventually made penny production expensive, leading to its discontinuation. Today, coins like the 1977 penny are collected for nostalgia, historical value, and as part of complete date and mint collections. For collectors and coin enthusiasts, the 1 cent Canada 1977 Elizabeth II D.G. Regina is a classic bronze coin that reflects Canada's royal heritage, national symbolism, and everyday economic history. It remains a simple yet meaningful piece of Canadian numismatic tradition. Next, top 3. The 1980 Canadian 1 cent coin is a classic bronze penny issued for circulation by the Royal Canadian Mint in Canada. During this period, Canada was under the reign of Elizabeth II, and her portrait appears on the obverse of the coin along with the inscription, Elizabeth II D.G. Regina. The Latin phrase D.G. Regina stands for Dei Gratia Regina, meaning by the grace of God, Queen, reflecting Canada's status as a constitutional monarchy within the Commonwealth. On the obverse front of the 1980 penny, you will find the second effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Mackin. This portrait shows the Queen facing right, wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. The design presents a mature and dignified image of the monarch. Surrounding the portrait is the inscription Elizabeth II D.G. Regina, while the year 1980 appears below the bust. The raised rim around the edge helps protect the design from wear during circulation. This Mackin portrait was used on Canadian coins from 1965 until 1989, making it one of the most recognized royal coin portraits in Canadian history. The reverse back of the coin features the iconic maple leaf twig design, originally created in 1937 by artist G. Kruger Gray. Two maple leaves are attached to a single stem, symbolizing Canada's natural beauty, strength, and national identity. The denomination 1 cent is written at the top, and Canada is displayed at the bottom. The maple leaf design remained largely unchanged for decades, becoming one of the most enduring and beloved images in Canadian coinage. In terms of specifications, the 1980 Canadian 1 cent coin is composed primarily of bronze. Its metal content is approximately 98% copper, 0.5% tin, and 1.5% zinc. The coin weighs about 3.24 grams and measures 19.05 millimeters in diameter. The edge is plain, smooth. Because of its high copper content, the coin has a reddish appearance when new, which gradually tones to brown over time due to oxidation and circulation wear. The mintage of the 1980 penny was very large, as pennies were still widely used in daily transactions during that time. Hundreds of millions of pieces were struck to meet the needs of commerce. As a result, the 1981 cent coin is common in circulated condition and is not considered rare. However, coins in uncirculated condition, especially those with full original red mint luster, classified as red or RD, are more desirable among collectors. The value of a 1980 Canadian penny today depends mainly on its condition. Circulated examples are generally worth only a small amount above face value, often collected in bulk. Uncirculated coins can sell for a few dollars depending on grade and eye appeal. High-grade coins certified by professional grading services may command higher premiums, especially if they show sharp details, strong luster, and minimal marks. The year 1980 was an important time in Canadian history, marked by political and constitutional discussions that would eventually lead to the patriation of the Constitution in 1982. Although the penny itself does not commemorate a specific event that year, it represents everyday life in Canada during a period of economic change and rising inflation. Small coins like the penny played a vital role in daily transactions, from grocery shopping to public transportation. Canada eventually stopped producing the 1 cent coin in 2012 due to rising production costs and declining purchasing power. The penny was officially withdrawn from circulation in 2013, though it remains legal tender. Coins like the 1980 issue are now mostly kept as collectibles, souvenirs, or part of complete date collections. In summary, the 1 cent Canada 1980, Elizabeth II D.G. Regina, is a traditional bronze coin that reflects Canada's royal connection, national pride symbolized by the maple leaf, and the economic history of the late 20th century. For collectors, it is an affordable and historic piece that helps complete a full run of Canadian small cents and preserves a piece of everyday Canadian heritage next top 4. The 1998 Canadian 1 cent coin is a modern-era penny issued for circulation by the Royal Canadian Mint in Canada. By 1998, Canada's coinage had gone through several design updates, especially in the portrait of Elizabeth II, whose effigy appears on the obverse of the coin. The inscription around her portrait reads, Elizabeth II D.G. Regina, which is Latin for Dei Gratia Regina, meaning by the grace of God, Queen. This title reflects Canada's constitutional monarchy and long-standing connection to the British Crown. On the obverse, front, of the 1998 penny, you will see the third Canadian portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. This effigy was designed by Dora de Pettery Hunt and was introduced in 1990. Unlike earlier portraits that showed the Queen wearing a crown or tiara, this design presents her without a crown, reflecting a more mature and contemporary image. The Queen faces right, and the inscription Elizabeth II D.G. Regina is placed around the upper edge, while the date 1998 appears below the portrait. The raised rim helps protect the coin's details during circulation. The reverse back of the coin continues to feature the traditional maple leaf twig design created in 1937 by artist G. Kruger Gray. The design shows two maple leaves attached to a single stem, symbolizing Canada's natural beauty and national pride. The denomination 1 cent is written at the top of the coin, and Canada appears at the bottom. Even though the portrait on the obverse changed over the decades, the reverse design of the Canadian penny remained consistent for many years, making it one of the longest-running reverse designs in Canadian coin history. In terms of composition, the 1998 Canadian penny is different from older bronze issues. By the mid-1990s, Rising copper prices led to changes in the coin's metal content. The 1998 1-cent coin is made of copper-plated zinc rather than solid bronze. It has a core of zinc with a thin copper plating on the surface. The coin weighs approximately 2.25 grams and has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters. The edge is plain, smooth. Because of the copper plating, the coin still has a reddish appearance when new, but it is lighter in weight compared to earlier bronze pennies. The mintage of the 1998 Canadian penny was extremely high, with hundreds of millions of coins produced to meet circulation demand. Pennies were still widely used in daily transactions at that time, although inflation had significantly reduced their purchasing power. Due to the large mintage, the 1998 1-cent coin is common in circulated condition and not considered rare. In terms of value, most circulated 1998 pennies are worth only face value or slightly more to collectors. However, uncirculated examples with full red luster, often graded as red or RD, can be worth a few dollars depending on condition. High-grade specimens that are well-preserved and certified by professional grading services may bring higher prices in the collector market. Error coins, such as off-center strikes or plating errors, can also attract additional interest. The late 1990s were an important period for Canada, marked by economic growth and technological advancement. Although the penny itself was not commemorative, it represents everyday Canadian life during that era. In 2012, Canada officially stopped producing the 1-cent coin because the cost of manufacturing exceeded its face value. The penny was removed from circulation in 2013, though it remains legal tender. Today, coins like the 1998 issue are mostly collected as part of date sets or kept as souvenirs. In conclusion, the 1-cent Canada 1998 Elizabeth II D.G. Regina is a modern copper-plated zinc penny that reflects both Canada's royal heritage and its national identity, symbolized by the maple leaf. While common and affordable, it holds historical value as part of the final decades of Canadian penny production and remains a meaningful piece for collectors and enthusiasts of Canadian coinage.